I'm pretty excited about this episode, man. I got one of my favorite teachers from middle school on here, Maple Street Magnet. Shout out. I had this guy. He was my teacher in hip hop hits, which was one of the electives I took in seventh grade. It's where they taught us how to rap, how to rhyme, taught us the essence of hip hop, and not what the current state was, but we went all the way back to the beginning up until the current state. This guy here, man, legendary. He can ball. He was a solid math teacher. Again, he was an MC as well. MSU alumni, Michigan State University, even though I'm a U of M fan, But ladies and gentlemen, I got Saan solo on here. What's good, man?
Yo, Ed Blair in the place to be. Good to see you, man.
Likewise, man.
Proud of what you're doing. Happy to be a part of it. We didn't talk about it for a while to bring it to fruition. It's something that's big for me, man.
Absolutely, man. And, I want to apologize to you too, man, because I got so busy. We were supposed to do that joint J Dilla mixtape, and I just have not lived up to my end of the bargain on that. So I'm going to apologize to you for that.
Hey, yo, things happen. We get busy working on other projects and nothing to apologize. It's just, timing is everything. Things are happening at the right time, right place. We got it.
Absolutely. And I still want to do it, though, if you're still open to it.
Come on now. Don't play. I'm putting it on my board. I got my board in here. I'm putting it on my board, yo. Don't play. It'll be on the list. What to do.
Most def, man. I'm going to do the same. But I do want to take it all the way back, man. So were you born and raised in Kalamazoo, Michigan?
Yeah, absolutely. Both my parents was originally from Chicago, so they parents wanted to escape the big city, and both of their parents had moved them to Covert, Michigan. Okay. And on graduating, they ended up in Kalamazoo. And that's where I was born and raised, man. Even though I was at Maple Street or the former South, I went to Hillside. So yeah, Northeastern Hillside, Kalamazoo Central, Math and Science Center, Kalamazoo all day.
Okay, bet. Now, when would you say you took it serious as far as when you started rapping? How'd you get your start with that?
Oh, that's a good one, yo. My dad was church league basketball coach, and so we had practice on Tuesday and Thursday. Mm-hmm. And folks be late picking up their kids, and because my dad's the coach, we got to stay there and wait till everybody picked up.
Right.
So one day after practice, somebody had started beatboxing, and next thing you know, I said this rhyme that I had memorized from this Houdini record I had. My dad was, if I got perfect scores on the spelling test each Friday, I could go to the store, either Boogie Records or Flipside, and get a record. And then, so one of them was Houdini. I had memorized it. So when they out there beatboxing and all of that, I kicked the Houdini rhyme, and they was like, yo, that's sweet. You wrote that? And I'm looking around, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I wrote it. That's me. Except this one cat. He was our age, but he hung around older people. And he was like, man, I think I heard that before, man. I don't know. And I was like, nah, I don't know. They claimed it. So I'm like, nah, man, that's me. He said, if you so fresh, then write another rhyme for the next practice. So after the next practice, boom, I kicked it because I had went home that night, wrote a rhyme, put a couple people on the team name in there. I practiced it at school the next couple of days. And then after practice, he said, yo, I thought you were supposed to, before he could get the sentence out, I kicked the rhyme. That was it right there, like fifth grade, yo.
Okay. And that's when you knew you wanted to take it serious and be a hip hop MC.
That's what it is. When I was in seventh, you talked about when you was in seventh grade. When I was in seventh grade, I was on a talent show at the State Theater with my man Raymond Ryan. My name is Saan. So we was the R&R rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like that's seventh grade, on through high school, through college. It just ain't never stopped though.
That's dope, man. And just curious, man, what was life like growing up for you in Kalamazoo back in the day?
It was cool. My mom and dad was like middle class working, so I wasn't necessarily wanting for anything. But what it is like I had cousins that grew up on the north side or in New Horizon, which was a little rougher, and I spent a lot of time over there. Building a base, but it was cool because like I remember people break dancing, carrying cardboard, all of that good stuff. One thing that's cool about Kalamazoo too is that in the summer I was able to go. We had the halfway point between Detroit and Chicago, and I got a lot of family in both, so I was able to go there for a couple weeks each summer and get some of that flavor. That Chicago where house started, or a Detroit Motown where techno started. So you getting some of that flavor just growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And it's a lot of elders that came before my generation as far as our local hip hop scene. You familiar with like Michigami and those guys?
Michigan, yeah, them my guys. Michigan, yeah. Jack the Mac, Mike Mish, a lot of those cats. We done did mad shows together here and there. We still stay in touch, stay in contact. So that's a building thing. My crew that I roll with was the Urbanites, and we still in touch. The one thing about the pandemic that brought us kind of back together, because we in all parts of the country right now. But the Urbanites, we used to do mad shows. We had the live band. We had 4 or 5 MCs. We had a DJ. It was just crazy. The energy that we had, and so like I said, cats is from L.A. on to Portland to South Carolina, Chicago, but the Urbanites is one of the forefront in the game right there. It's a lot of cats in the zoo.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Reason I wanted you to come on because I wanted to give you your roses while you can still smell them. You came way before my generation, and it's a huge generational gap. And there's like a lot of MCs and talent that the younger artists that's doing it now aren't familiar with. So I'm trying to get, as many as I can to come on. That way I could big them up. We could talk about, how they got their start, different things like that. And, just share some light on them and remind folks, I feel like it's important.
No, that's big because the one thing about me is I always been so focused on the art of it that sometimes the business sense I let fall by the wayside because I'm so busy creating new content and focusing on the art. And the music have to be great. It have to be stellar. But in the music business, I feel like is only like 5 to 10% of it. And it's the business that's, the real thing. So like you having a podcast and doing your thing, I need your internet class now. I need your class. I need to be the student. You know what I mean? But it's people like you that's, on the business side of it, a chick with beats. She do a lot of things out of Kalamazoo as far as the business and promotion side that I'm learning from, because that's really what it is. A good friend of mine that's working on this other project with me out here. It's my Squad Up crew, Majest. He big on the marketing and promotion. And I know like you are, and I'm trying to step my game up on that, man. So that's big, and I appreciate you, reaching out to me and keep me connected with these cats because that's all it is, that's all it is, staying connected, yo.
Most def, man, and shout out to a chick with beats. She is super cool, down to earth, female producer in Kalamazoo. Definitely check her out. So when would you say you released your first official project, and then talk about the process behind creating that?
Wow. So the first official release was 2004.
Okay.
We had did some like underground stuff with the Urban Knights, and I had recorded at DX's before that I never really put out. So then what happened is while I was teaching at Maple Street, I put a grant proposal together with the Kalamazoo Council of the Arts.
Okay.
And City Council of the Arts. And so what it was is called Immersion Artist Grant. And I wrote this thing up, man. And next thing you know, they gave me the grant. And it was a nice exchange. They just gave me a check with that amount because I had specified what I was going to do with it. So at the time, one of my Urbanite homies was in L.A. Working at a studio in Hollywood. And so that's where I ended up recording. I flew back and forth to LA 3 or 4 times, and people was like, "Why are you flying to LA to record it? I know you got the grant, but that plane money." Well, one thing is, this my homie. We done been to Tokyo together, and this like that. So it ain't just like I'm paying some engineer off the street to do it. This is my guy. He know what sound I want and everything. So I flew out there a few times, and we would get sessions from midnight to 8 a.m. like 3 or 4 days in a row. And we was working, you know. I wasn't out there on no tourist stuff. I was out there working. So then finally I put it out on September 11th of 2004. It was a Saturday. And I performed 3 times. I lived downtown on the Kalamazoo Mall that day. I put it at a bookstore, a bookstore. I did an in-store signing and had my band play. Then later that afternoon at Eastland Bowl, had a food thing so my kids could come and all of that, my students and all of that. And we performed. Then at night we did Club Soda. And so that was like a release of energy. It was a lot of work. But I made sure, because I couldn't fly the whole band. Like I said, I recorded in LA.
Yeah.
I couldn't fly all of them there, but I did do 2 live songs with the band here in Kalamazoo.
That's fine.
And so that was Brainstorm 2004.
I mean, that's a lot, man. You had the will and the desire to go back and forth between the countries, and then you also had the will and the desire to put a band together, because not a lot of rappers have bands, so that's big. Now, what's the name of that first album, and did you ever put it on the streaming sites?
Oh yeah, Brainstorm is on all the streaming sites, YouTube, Amazon, you know, Tidal, whatever. Brainstorm, that's 2004. Yeah, and so, you know, like when I moved out here, and even to this day, it's still new to a lot of people that ain't heard it, and it sounds fresh to them. Because some people that never heard me, I still perform some of them songs, and you know, they don't know that it was 17 years ago, whatever the case is, you know.
That's how it is with a lot of us, man. Like, we get tired of the old stuff and we don't want to perform it, but we always got to remember it's always somebody that ain't never heard it and it's fresh on somebody else's ears, for sure. Now, how many albums, mixtapes, EPs would you say you have combined?
So after that, I dropped a slew of singles here and there. Mm-hmm. But then the next official project, I'm gonna say, was last summer. I did solo. It was a mixtape project. Solo, the feature presentation. Where that come from is I took some of my favorite artists and I took one of their verses off of one of their songs and put one of my verses that fit the same topic, the same idea. So I did like a feature with my favorite heroes in hip hop. I did one with a Tribe Called Quest, with Redman, you know, with the Alcoholics, you know, and so it was a way of giving back, and it was a lot of fun to do that, man. So I'm about done with volume 2 and 3 now. Okay.
And you gonna throw that on SoundCloud as well?
Yeah, that'll be up, you know. And so then other than that, like I said, with my Squad Up crew, just put out a mixtape, a compilation of the different songs, of different variations, factions of the crew. But me and Jess got an album on that called Quintessential Vibes coming out this spring. Most of the production is from my man that do most of my production on Brainstorm. And my solo project that's coming, that's coming this spring as well. That's bringing 88 back, because that's the greatest time. So you got that project, you got the volume 2 of the mixtape, you got Quintessential Vibes with Majest and my Squad Up crew out here, and then you got Colors, Movements, and Sensations. That's me, a man that do production on all my stuff, the Anonymous 73 and J.E. And so we call that 3 the hard way, but we got 15 song albums. So it's like 5 projects hitting before the 4th of July this year.
That's cold, man. I'm happy for you, and I'm going to definitely tap in on them. And it's good to see that COVID ain't slow you down, man. Like, you know, a lot of artists, it slowed up their bag, you know. So all we can do really is record and do little shows here and there. But it's good to see you still working, still pushing it. How, you know, a lot of people don't know you in Brooklyn now. How has COVID affected you over in Brooklyn?
It's sad, man. The city is sad, man. You know, you move to New York for the bright lights and all of that, the fast pace. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I was privy to that the first 9 years I was here. But this last year has been kind of strange because, you know, you can't really go nowhere except to the grocery store. That's like the outing of the day, going to the store or something, you know. And I done seen so many businesses get shut down throughout the city, here in Brooklyn, Harlem, Manhattan, whatever. And a lot of people that then left that is never coming back. People that lost jobs, and people on my block that then died. Like it been crazy, and it's just it's sad. I mean, even though it's opened up 25% now, it just ain't the same. I don't know how long it's gonna take to get back to being the same, but so in the meantime, or if I'm gonna be here, then I'm gonna be creative and I'm gonna do something. So that's in that regard, it slowed me down and made me focus as to be writing these rhymes and making so much product instead of running the streets and ripping and running and seeing all of New York and consuming instead of producing.
Being sidetracked easily and stuff like that. But it made me feel bad, man. Like the way they shut New York down when COVID first came, because it wasn't long after I had visited there. We were supposed to link and chop it up, and then I had to leave because we was only there for a couple days, 2 or 3 days. Then I was supposed to come back when I had hit you again, but then COVID shut the whole state down. I couldn't get in there.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So
just take things for granted. You never know what happens, man. Like life hits you at such short notice sometimes.
Yeah, man.
But when it clear up, I definitely plan to come back for sure.
Yeah, do that, man. Oh yeah, it was ironic. I was sitting up talking to my man who I had did a track with over the summer. Oh, this is my guy go way back 30 years in college.
Oh, I think I know where you're going. I was going to ask you about him.
Oh, my man Rush?
Yeah, Rush the Guillotine.
Yeah. It'll go back to college because his other homie, Will, went to state. And so he would be up there all the time. And I always stayed in touch and contact with them. So, he told me about you. I was like, oh, yeah, I know him. So you've been getting around doing your thing, yeah?
I'm trying, man. I do a little here and there. I'm actually in G-Rap right now. I use River City Studio up here when I podcast. I'm going to have him come on the show, too, sometime soon. So he went to Michigan State with you?
No, his homie from Grand Rapids went to Michigan State. Okay. But he was up there visiting all the time.
Was he DJing parties down there and stuff?
Nah, he would just come and hang out. But I know he was doing stuff in Grand Rapids at the time.
Bet. So y'all just locked in, and y'all hit it off, and he just started producing for you and all that good stuff?
Well, see, I had known he did music all that time, and he know I had did music, but we just had never collaborated on nothing. So then finally, it was last February, he just sent me a couple beats because we talk every so often. I had seen him a few months before that in November. We had went to a little concert. It was all DJs, DJ Scratch, Jazzy Jeff, and Kid Capri.
Nice.
It was a Yeah, so then they had a little record convention, so I bought some 45s there. But so I had seen him a few months before that. We talk every so often. Then he sent me these beats, and I just went to work on that one, Check the Word, and that was it.
So yeah, man, let's talk about Check the Word. What was the inspiration behind Check the Word? And then also let's talk about what you was looking for as far as production at the time, because as music production has changed tremendously. It's not really much boom bap anymore. It's more so up tempo trap beats and just party music. So let's talk about it.
So I don't have nothing against them beats.
Right.
I might even bob my head to it if somebody play it. I'm out and about somewhere, but I probably just won't be playing it, and I probably won't be rhyming to it. Nothing against it, So he had sent me 2 that day, and I heard that one. And it just was the horn in that beat. It just was the horn that drew me in, and it made me feel like I was in a speakeasy in the 1930s or 40s where you had to knock on the door 3 times and then say a code word, you know what I'm saying, or something to get in. And it's dark and it's filled with smoke and somebody playing on the piano, you know what I'm saying? It just gave me that vibe. So I just went with that, and then I was torn with the it was slow, so you'll see I did a double time cadence, and then when I did the verse, I did it slow. So it was that contrast right there too that I figured I could get in to get a song some depth and some texture. And so after that, man, I figured I figured out the cadence that I wanted to use, and said, "Yo, let me drop some punchlines in here that they're gonna be able to figure out," and that's it.
Okay. I did enjoy that, and also, I want to let the people know. Anytime I have an artist or a business person come on the show, I always promote heavy for them. So, like, where can the people find that at? That single that we talking about.
Oh, that's on any of the streaming platforms. So that again, that's Tidal, that's Pandora, that's iTunes, any of the streaming, whatever streaming service you have, Spotify. You can get that. YouTube, Saan Solo, stop playing. SAANSOLO.
All right. Let them know. Now, I just out of curiosity, I know you was very passionate about hip hop and, about your artistry. Did you have that same passion with basketball as well when you was hooping?
I did, to a point, and that was like in 7th and 8th grade when I used to go to Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas basketball camps, and I took it like personal. The first year I went, I didn't make the All-Star team, so the next summer I was in the driveway doing drills for hours, then going to the park playing for hours, and I did have a passion for it. But see, I think what happened is somewhere in high school, I kind of got sidetracked with just everything that come with being in high school, girls or, whatever. And I wasn't focused. But see, the thing was, I feel like I was kind of good enough to know that I would make the team, but I wasn't getting much better each year. And so I didn't push myself to get better. I was content with being good enough to be on the team, maybe good enough to start, but I wasn't the best that I could be. So I lost it like that. And then, so I didn't really gain any back for playing, but I did when I was teaching and I started coaching. Because then I tried to get in on that passion and see like you can't just treat this like you want to come in for the 1 hour of practice and that's it. Because this teams we playing where them cats is doing it for 10 hours, a day, and like that. So, but the coaching thing is big. It's just like teaching.
Absolutely. So yeah, I do want to tap into that in a second, but I do remember you used to always share this story with us. When you went to Kalamazoo Central, y'all had some superstar athletes, and you just happened to be tight with some superstar athletes and played with some. You want to tell that Derek Jeter story about how y'all hooped together in high school?
Yeah. Great athlete. I was in 12th grade when he was in 10th, and normally 10th grade, you're going to be on a junior varsity team. Mm-hmm. But because he was such an athlete, he was on varsity with us. And so one time we was playing Portage Central at Kalamazoo Central, and we was down by 2 with the ball with like 6 seconds. And coach called a timeout, and he said, "We're going to win this game, damn it." So he called up a play. My boy Amp to throw the ball inbound. I set a screen on Jeter's man. Jeter catch it, shoot a 3. Mm-hmm. As the buzzer go out to win. If they double him, I'm supposed to catch it and shoot the 3. So, boom, play go as planned. I set the screen on his man. He catch it, shoot the 3. We win by 1. Crowd go crazy. What a great memory. It was in the paper the next day. I got the article in the newspaper, and I'm thinking that's it. Now, fast forward some years later, and one of my students come in at Maple Street and said, "I didn't know you was in Derek Jeter's autobiography." I said, "I didn't either. What you talking about?" She said, "I was reading it last night," and boom, boom. I said, "Bring it in." So she brought it in, and he's describing that whole story in this chapter that's called "Don't Be Afraid to Fail." He's talking about how that moment right there gave him the confidence to never be scared if it's the bottom of the 9th inning or whatever all the heroic stuff he done. I'm saying? So it was cool. So it was in there him describing that play. It's funny though, because my name is spelled RAHSAAN, and he switched the H and the S. So I always said I was gonna sue him for like 20 mil and then just like settle out of court for 1. But nah. It's just an honor to even be remembered and to be in that book. And great guy. If anybody say anything bad about him, then I'm gonna have a problem.
Facts. You do seem like a down-to-earth guy. Like, I never got a chance to talk to him, but I have seen him around in the past, like in my earlier days. He used to have a, I don't remember if it was a camp or a foundation, but he used to speak at it all the time. But yeah, he definitely seemed like a cool guy.
He only had it in 3 places: Kalamazoo, New York, and then Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's dope, man. So you and his autobiography, and then y'all got the memories that y'all share, and then you got the project streaming and everything, and you getting out there, getting the online presence, man. It look like it's looking up for you.
yeah, it's just trying to stay busy and learn. Like I said, the internet changed the game. As far as like marketing and promotion, because when I had CDs, I would like physically sell them, and then like, oh, okay, I need to order another 1,000. Boom, boom, boom. But like with just streaming and just not knowing the potential of what you can tap into, you could easily get left behind. Because this thing is global. But no, that's what it is, man. Creating content, like we didn't shop visuals. I just got one in the mail like last week, a first edit of it, and we made a few tweaks on that. Boom, boom, boom. Got another visual.
You had a dope one that you had. You want to talk about it? Ear to the Street.
Oh yeah, that's from the upcoming solo project, bringing 88 back, and that's just the whole premise of it is, people always gonna categorize you as something. So they always say I'm underground or whatever. So I'm like, okay, if I'm underground, then keep it ear to the street because I'm gonna make some noise while I'm underground.
Right.
And so it's just like, that's the whole premise, and and keep your ear to the street for these latest releases. The project's coming with Through the Hard Way, with MDG, like the mixtape. So like Ear to the Street was something my man had reached out to me through social media. My man Johnny, big ups to Johnny. He had finished film school and was looking to build up his portfolio. So reached out to me about shooting a visual for me. So I met up with him. We came up with the concepts, the ideas. We met a couple times, did a photo shoot. Next, then we did went to about 3 locations, knocked that out, and I was proud of it. So that then spiraled into, like I said, he shot 3 or 4 more for the crew. No, I'm saying 3 or 4 more. He done shot at least like 7, 8 more for the crew since then.
Okay. Now you shot that whole video in Brooklyn?
Yeah. Part of it was in Coney Island.
Okay.
You'll see like where that slow motion is at the intro, and like when I'm walking around, that's like Coney Island. And then the rest of that is in Bushwick, which is where I live.
Okay.
There's a lot of graffiti area and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember when you first had got there, you was posting a lot of pictures of the area and the different, like essences that had that nostalgic feel of the 80s hip hop era. And I was like really digging that. Like you seem different, you know what I'm saying? Like as I talk to you, like you seem more comfortable, more relaxed, and just like you right at home over there.
Yeah, I feel like I fit in, man. And, I guess it come with being from here a long time. But, just being true to me and who I am, you know what I'm saying? Like take it back to the just even where I'm from. Because a lot of people would say they're from Detroit, from Michigan. Because that's the first thing I get when when I say I'm from Michigan. Oh, you from Detroit? And I know a couple of homies from the zoo that live in other big cities and told me, oh, man, just say you from Detroit. No, I'm not from Detroit. I'm from the zoo. I'm going to be proud of where I'm from and who I am.
They try to force you to be from here.
Yeah, being true to me, allow me to just blend in. And, you can just be yourself out here. And I don't do nothing crazy. That's why, I always encourage and invite people to come out here and visit me. They're going to see me doing nothing, no different, no crazy out here. I'm the same old person. You know what I'm saying? I'm just in a different area code, zip code, whatever it is. But
that's what's up, man.
I done grown a lot. I done learned a lot while I've been out here. It is a learning experience. But I feel comfortable here, man. It really is welcome, and it ain't all as cold as people say.
Yeah, I felt at home when I came for my little visit too, man. And I ain't even want to come back. I wanted to purposely miss my flight. I ain't even gonna cap. I had the time of my life over there. It was just, I don't know, man. It was just a different vibe, like on the artist side of life. Like I don't know, man. It's just hard to explain. I just feel like if I had more time, I could have definitely accomplished a lot more.
Well, and that's true. You always feel like you need more time here, but like, no, on the artist side, man, like, and with this, the thing that impressed me the most is the people's knowledge of hip hop. And like, when I say that, I'm thinking of a specific time when I was on Fifth Avenue in Park Slope. That's part of Brooklyn, and not too far from the Barclays Center. But I stopped in this one little bar, restaurant, little thing, and it's just one older white lady, like, in this shop, but she banging some like underground hip hop. I can't remember what it was. And like, but she's singing along, and it just like threw me off. Like, there ain't something that just is on the radio that you expect somebody to know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she just like, she working in there by herself, and like, she just know it though. And like, so I'm like, yo, this is real. Like, they know it. And so the one thing is like, performing out here in front of people that know hip hop like that, they gonna let you know like if you whack. So you gotta bring it. Like, you ain't fooling them over here. They gonna let you know if you riding or not. And so that's a testament to get kind of like validated performing out here is that's a real thing.
Absolutely, man. And I just want to go back just a little bit. Since relocating to New York, did you ever reconnect with Derek Jeter?
Oh, no, not per se. The first 2 years I was out here, I did do work for his foundation. It's called Turn 2 Foundation.
Yeah, shout out to Turn 2.
So I did that for a couple of years. We took the kids. 1 year we took them to Atlanta was the first time, and then the next year we took them to DC, which was kind of cool because this, like I said, is my first couple years out there, and these kids like high school age and everything. So I just went to Atlanta with the New York kids, so they knew me, and then some of the Kalamazoo kids when they met us in DC that next year was some of my former students.
Oh,
and
wow.
So I knew them. Yeah. So I knew them and everything. So. It was cool, but just with my schedule and everything, I wasn't able to continue. But it was cool working with him. So I seen him and his sister and his mom and his dad. So and it was cool. They the same. They the same people.
That's what's up. So going back, how'd you get your start as a head coach, and then also what inspired you to want to go into teaching?
Okay, so I'll talk about teaching first. So I guess it's kind of like the family business. Okay. I got both my parents in education, uncles, cousins was teachers, principals, counselors, superintendents. So it's kind of like the family business. And I tried to go against the grain because I started out majoring in engineering, but I'm kind of like a people person, so I had this internship my freshman year, and I didn't like it because I was in the office by myself, and so I kind of navigated towards education. But it was natural to me because I had been since middle school at the church tutoring younger kids or whatever, so it just was natural.
Okay.
So something that that I don't do it for a paycheck. I do it to be the best, to make a difference. So. It was something, that I first did it in Detroit my first year. And then after that, I came back to Kalamazoo, give back at home. And an opportunity just presented itself. I think that first year I was at Maple Street, Coach Charles Parker asked me if I wanted to help with the track team. They needed somebody to help with that. And so I was like, okay, sure. And at the time, Mr. Lipschultz, Herb Lipschultz was the athletic director. So he was like, I'm going to need a coach for girls basketball next year. You want to do that? So I started out with the girls. And then as the boys came available, I just was doing both. And it was cool. But like I said, I just want to roll a basketball out there. And I did play in high school, but I wanted to do more. So I started going to Western practices and working some basketball camps, going to Michigan State practices, working some camps and things like that, so that we were gonna be competitive. We wasn't just gonna be out there getting exercise. And,
right.
So it was a lot of fun, man. We put some trophies in that boy. We had some epic games.
Absolutely, man. Now, a buddy of mine got a question for you. He on the camera right now, but before I bring him around here to let him ask you, I want to talk about this class that meant a lot to a lot of us that's like actively doing music now, because you got some old heads out here doing music now, like that you inspired and taught. You pretty much are Sensei, and we your student. So how did you come up with the class Hip Hop Hits, and then how were you able to keep that going for as long as you did?
So my first year there, they just gave me my elective was like a math study hall, but I was looking around at everybody else's study hall, and it's what they did in the summer or what they did in their off time. Like Mr. Fry, the social studies teacher, he was a volunteer firefighter, so his elective was something about firefighting. The other teacher, she was in the origami, and so that was her elective. So at the end of the year, they was like, sign up for an elective for next year, or if you have an idea of what one you want to create, then just do that. So I was like, okay, what do? I do hip hop. I'm gonna create a hip hop class, and I just came up with a quick little thing. We're gonna learn the business of it, the history, and the how to. And just from there, it kind of just took off. Next thing you know, the Gazette did an article, and I'm thinking, okay, that's it. Then Channel 3 News came, and I'm like, okay, that's it. Then Michigan State University Alumni Magazine hit me up. They wanted to do something, so I'm like, okay, that's it. And then the Source called, and then boom, next thing you know, now they flying me to Pittsburgh, to Phoenix, to Chicago, to different school districts and schools to train their staff on how to use hip hop in the classroom, yo. The school got a grant and sent me up to Detroit to this studio for 2 weeks, 2 summers in a row to learn Pro Tools and bought all this equipment for my classroom and all of this. It was just...
That's wild. So it just turned out to be bigger than you thought it would.
Yeah. I never imagined it when I wrote that up, and I'm happy though, because, I see cats doing their thing. I don't know if he was there when you was there. Willie Riddle, I see that cat doing his thing online.
Yeah, he in our age range now. So shout out to Early in the Morning. He's supposed to come on here at some point. What was I gonna say? Man, the counselors knew that only certain students can be in that class, so they ain't let everybody take that class. So you got some heavy alumni that did come out of that class, but I'm gonna bring my guy around, let him introduce himself in case you forgot who he was, and he's gonna ask you a quick question.
All right,
everybody. So you remember me?
Oh yeah, but you gotta tell me the name. You look mad old now.
I'm Xavier.
Xavier, big tall Xavier.
Yeah. What's going on, man?
I'm chilling, man. Just enjoying the life, man.
Look, I got a bone to pick with you. I'm gonna start it off like this. So I'll give two men my inspiration for rapping, right? My uncle, when I was like 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like those years. But when I got to middle school, you made it real. Like, oh, this is something you could really actually do. And I remember at the start of every semester, I'd be like, get me in your class. Why can't I get in your class?
Oh,
every year, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, tried to get it, wouldn't get it, not one bit. You never pulled that string.
Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember that. For real? None of them times?
Not one.
Hey, look, he said because you chose acting over basketball.
Yeah, you hated on me then.
No, he would be doing that though. I ain't mind because y'all had to play practice, and then you'll be practicing for the play, and then come to practice a little late sometimes. That's cool. I'm gonna tell you, that's one thing that impressed me about like you and y'all though, because I did that. That got me out from my element to one year. What's the play with Mr. Sir in it? Holes.
Yeah.
Holes. They did that, and they had me get in it, and I done rhymed a million times, and I was nervous, and they was all backstage just chilling, playing video games,
just relaxing.
Trying to practice my words. So like getting out of your element, that's big. That acting, that ain't easy, yo.
No, it's not. No. But no, so one thing that you probably don't have in your notes, there was a summer program. It ran 2 years in a row that Hip Hop Hits ran into. And I was working at the summer camp, and that's when I kind of slid my way in there. I was supposed to be a counselor, and I ended up being a part of it more than I was supposed to.
You on a couple of them tracks though.
Yeah. I weaseled my way in there.
You on a couple of them tracks. I got that. I got them in a box here. I got them CDs in a box, yo.
Wow, I need one.
Okay,
Man.
that's easy. That's like, yeah, all you gotta do is, just shoot me your info. I slide that to you. Yeah, I got them in a box, yo.
Yeah.
So, before we get too far though, man, I think it's safe to say that you was the first to ever have a hip hop class and, be a professor in a hip hop class. They say Ninth Wonder, but I think you was the first. You did it with middle schoolers. You ain't had to go on campus to a college and do it.
Yeah, it was a good ride, man. Like, it was fun, man. Like I said, when they was paying me to go to them school districts and putting me up in a hotel and give me a daily per diem, like, yo, just to teach other people on using hip hop in the classroom, something like we had did forever. Like, yo, come on, man. And then, like, even like I'm saying, the summer camp for them 2 weeks, this just feel like free money. Like, I'm getting money to do this because I'm gonna sit around here like when I go DJ, I'm gonna sit here and play records for hours anyway. But if they gonna pay me, then like, okay, so you gonna pay me? I'm gonna record. Okay, it's just happen to be with people that ain't my age. Oh well.
Right. Man. Well, I'm gonna get up out of here. I just want to say, for real, especially since this show is all about giving roses where they do, especially while you can still smell them. You are one of the most influential people in my life that keeps me moving forward, doing my art, making it a business, trying to make money behind it, and actually validating it because I've seen somebody else do it and do it well, do it professionally and respectably. So you are one of my biggest inspirations, and I just need you to know that in case COVID take me out.
And my Nori voice, make some noise, goddammit. I ain't got no air horns or do say but
Yeah. Make sure, Zay, you send me that the info so I can get in one of them CDs.
All right, for sure, I got you.
Oh man, see, man, that's why it's important, to have y'all come on here, man. Like, I had a couple OGs that they was kind of skeptical on it, but I figured if I had a couple come on and show them that us young bucks know who did what, and y'all we go down y'all's resume and we bring y'all to our audience. It's a reminder for folks. So I thought it was important to have you on here.
Oh, that's real, man. And that's why, like, I don't know if you see my post or not, but every time, like, when I come home, I reach out, like,
you do.
The homies in the zoo. And, I was fortunate to do a track with Passion. Fusion. With Fusion. I got a song called Passion coming out. My fault. Might be all over the place. But with Fusion, and me and early in the morning, he sent me a track and we figured out one that we gonna collab on, you know what I'm saying? So
well, I got a whole tape with you, so I'm excited.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna get on that.
Absolutely, man. It's also safe to say that you did Hamilton before Hamilton was Hamilton. Cause you just said you was rapping in holes.
Yo, it was crazy. Hey.
I'm just saying, man, we putting it in the atmosphere. All right, man. Well, I definitely got to get out of here. But before I go, I want you to let the world know your social media handles, where they can find you. And then one more time, just riddle off some projects and where they can find those at too. And if you got like a website or some merch, throw that in there too.
Yo, so again, the name is Saan Solo, SAANSOLO, at any of the sites. That's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's Twitter, that's any of them. And if you want to get the materials, the Brainstorm album is on all streaming platforms. Check the Word, produced by Rush the Guillotine, is on all streaming platforms as we speak. Let the Beat Bang, produced by Dynamite, is on all streaming platforms right now. And up and coming is you check the mixtape solo, a feature presentation. You can check that on SoundCloud. You can check that on because they got on these mix they got some different little things, rules, and all of this. Mm-hmm. You can check that on Bandcamp as well. Bandcamp, Saan Solo, and then just the upcoming projects. Volume 2 of that featured a feature presentation. 3 the Hard Way. We got Colors Money, Colors Movement, and Sensations coming out. Majestic God and Saan Solo got Quintessential Vibes coming out. Saan Solo got Bringing 88 back, solo album coming out. So it's coming. And 3/17, a visual. That's my birthday, but I'm going to give a gift to the world called Passion. It's just do what you love. A visual coming 3/17.
Bad. Oh, before you go, I got to ask you what I typically ask all my guests that are artists or producers or, whatnot. Who would you say your top 5 or top 10 hip MCs are? And it could be mainstream or in underground. It don't matter.
So here we go. I mean, I'm going to say that it's fluid because sometimes it changes, but it's pretty set. So I'm going to go with Black Thought.
Okay.
Common.
All right.
Nas.
Okay.
KRS-One.
All right.
Redman.
All right.
Rakim. Big Daddy. LL.
All right.
Did I say Big L already?
You ain't say Big L, but RIP.
Big L. And then I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Ice Cube.
Bet. Can't even argue that list.
I don't know. Like I said, 1 or 2 might be out tomorrow or something. I don't know, but that's pretty solid.
All right, and then on a local level, it could be old school or new school. Who would you say your top 5 or top 10 MCs would be?
Well, I ain't really heard enough. To be honest, I ain't really heard enough, and that's selfish because I've been in the lab so much, and so it ain't just that. Like if you was to ask me, like, what's the latest album I listened to with somebody that's out commercial or what, I don't even know, and so I've been too self-absorbed with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if I'm going, like, I'm gonna have to say, like, Cats in my Urbanite crew, Ackstar, shout out to James Eternal, Mike Mish, up in there, like I said, Fusion, my boy Patience, you know what I'm saying? He get down, yeah, man. I mean, I'm anxious to do the collab with you out there and my other cat early in the morning. As far as the young, that's probably only that I know.
Okay.
Off the top.
It's all good. It's cool to be self-absorbed because then you're not losing what you got your sight set on as far as what you're looking for in your project and creative process. Because I know when you listening to too much, then it's like you start to sound like what you was listening to, and that's not what you want. You want to stay original.
Even subconsciously, you don't want that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I get it. Well, man, it was definitely nice chopping it up. I'm going to go and get out of here. If you welcome to come back on the show anytime, especially when you want to get them albums promoted, definitely have your crew hit me up if they want to come on for an episode. And we out of here, man. And I appreciate you, man.
Yo, hit me up sooner than later when we chop it up on this Dilla project.
Absolutely. As soon as I get back home, I got you.
All right, big homie.
All right, peace.